do shake out. Both these players 8-0, so again, the winner of this one will be 9-0, along with Jonathan Orr, who's doing things with Golgari mid-range. You just saw that in our main match.
Yes.
Patrick is pumped up about this, I see. Donegan, of course, has played in the Players' Championship before. Matthew Dilks has not, but I've got a feeling we might see both of them later this year. Especially if Modern is going to be something they get to play a lot of. As the Sakura Tribe Scout is how things are going to start here, though it'll die to a lightning bolt there from Donegan rather quickly. A Kabir Crossroads there from Dilks will allow him to gain a little bit of life as Donegan will do some manipulation here. And now he'll play a Serum Visions and Scry 2. Some more cantripping here for our Izzet Phoenix player. And now here's Faithless Looting. Discarding Arclight Phoenix and getting in for 3 points of damage. That's a lot of stuff to be done there by Dylan Donegan on his second and third turn of the game.
A lot of that is tire spinning unless you have a Phoenix in the way to put it in the graveyard, but Donegan was able to put the last piece of the puzzle there.
Dilks with an Azusa. Teleria West, along with a Celestia Sanctuary, will come on down. Now there's a Crackling Drake. Donegan's Drake is pretty large there. It's 9 power. So Dilks better have his good buddy Primeval Titan here.
But with Azusa unchecked here, you know, if Dilks can put it together, there's a lot to work with.
Float some mana. Vesuva. Get back to Teleria West. Transmute to Teleria West for Engineered Explosives. Okay. Sakura Tribe Scout. Pass the turn back. Azusa down. Here's a pretty healthy attack. Snapcaster Mage, Bolt You, we're done. So, an explosive draw there for Donegan, though it did not involve Thing in the Ice. A less explosive one there for Dilks. No Primeval Titan to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, Dilks was, you know, all dressed up and ready to go. Had ways to cheat extra lands in play and a lot of mana to work with. Last piece you're missing there is Primeval Titan, which Dilks didn't have, and Donegan able to close out the game in short order.
Well, game number 1 over pretty quickly there for Dylan Donegan. Remember, Donegan did win his regionals last weekend in Raleigh-Durham to really push himself further along in the Players' Championship race here in Season 1, and he's already locked up day number 2 where the person leading things right now on our SCG Tour leaderboard, Dominic Harvey, he will not be in day number 2 of competition. He'll be playing a classic of some sort tomorrow. Matthew Dilks, on the other hand, also 8-0 here, an Amulet Titan specialist, along with his other Canadian friends, most notably Edgar Magalish. But I got to watch Dilks play a couple times off camera. Very, very skilled with this deck.
We're starting to have a bit of a Canadian presence at the Opens this year.
Loving it.
Love it.
The Toronto crew's got some really good Magic players.
No question. It's been like that for, I think it's a city that has a lot of low profile but very skilled grinders. And it's been like that since
forever.
20 years or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think Canada has the reputation of being like an elite Magic country that it probably should have.
Well, I know when I first started playing competitively that the Vancouver scene was one of the ones spoken about as being one of the better spots to play. And then in the early 2000s, you know, I don't think, again, Toronto necessarily had the highest profile, but I think really underrated scene.
Manamorphose and many other spells, but it all ends with a Thing in the Ice. So we're going to head back over to Dilks now. That's an Amulet. Celestia Sanctuary comes down. It's Azusa. It's an explosive start here. Basic Forest. Sanctuary. Pick up the Simic Growth Chamber. Pass the turn back. That'll be a Lightning Bolt and a timely one. You got to get that thing off the battlefield. Thing the ice down to 3 ice counters. Let's make it 2. After an Abrade kills the Amulet. Okay, Dylan. Dylan is not messing around here, folks. Teleria West pass the turn back.
Now, the last thing here is, can Donegan actually start attacking?
Well, with a Lightning Bolt going upstairs now, Snapcaster Mage going to be firing off a Lightning Bolt as well. Okay, well, that's a timely path to exile. I'll give Dilks some credit there. He needed that to happen.
And needs a little bit of breathing space. Getting hit for 7 here. Just closes out too fast while he's got nothing going on.
Worth noting that with Thing in the Ice transforming, Awoken Horror will actually bounce Snapcaster Mage back to Dylan's hand, so that's where it is right now. There is a Snapcaster again. It'll opt this time. And now it'll be Faithless Looting. Donegan will discard a couple of cards. Now here's also a Thought Scour. So I believe just one Arclight Phoenix is going to come back, and Path to Exile is going to take care of that as well. So Dilks has gotten a lot more reactive after sideboard. Here's Summoner's Pack for Dilks. Get a Primeval Titan. Play a Basic Forest to be able to cast Primeval Titan. Does Dilks maybe get a second Basic Forest? He does. I was curious if he was going to do that simply because if Donegan then played a Blood Moon, the game would end.
You would lose the pack.
Yeah, because he can't pay for the pack. So Dilks, a heads-up play there, making sure that he's not cold to a Blood Moon out of nowhere. Donegan with a Thought Scour. Now there's a Thing in the Ice, and there is the Blood Moon. So
good read there by Dilks.
Yep, Dilks came prepared. Here comes the Titan. Trigger, search up a couple of lands. Looks like it's going to be Boros Garrison and Selesnia's Sanctuary. No trigger on either one of those bounce lands because the Blood Moon being on the battlefield. Another Basic Forest there from Dilks. Pass the turn back over to Donegan. Donegan's going to start by flashing back a Faithless Looting. Thing in the Ice is going to fall down to 3 counters. Draw 2 and discard 2, of course. And now here's a hard cast Arclight Phoenix. An attack here for 5 is going to bring Dilks down to 9. We head back Dilks' way.
Donegan must be flooding out pretty badly for that to have been his turn.
There's Reclamation Sage. I've seen Dilks do this so often.
I mean, this has got to be a kill from here, right?
Engineer Explosives for 2 is going to take care of Snapcaster Mage and Thing in the Ice. Here comes Titan. Curious if there's going to be some life gain involved here now with Kabir Crossroads, perhaps. There's Simic Growth Chamber, maybe not. There's the Crossroads. And a Bajuka Bog. And now going to search up Teleria West, get Walking Ballista, and kill you that way. So you can see Dilks knows how to navigate this deck.
Yep.
He really, really does.
Yeah, I think it takes a while to get the patterns down, but
once you do that, it's not so bad.
Then you know kind of what's the most efficient way to go about a business and what are the handful of cards that I need to be mindful of. Like, you know, I'm about to Summoner's Pact, make sure that I'm not dead to Blood Moon, that sort of stuff.
Yep. Because I think you know, a novice player would have actually tripped and fell over that Blood Moon.
Yeah, good chance. Yeah, you just try to go a little bit too, you know, you're trying to set up the combo kill or whatever, and then you just get colded by Blood Moon. I think that probably happens pretty commonly at the lower tables.
Dylan Donegan going to be on the play here for game number 3. He'll start things off with a Spire Bluff Canal and a Serum Visions. One on top, one on the bottom. That'll be an Amulet of Vigor there for Dilks. Scariest start you can see if you're Donegan. Limited answers in the deck to be able to take care of that card. It's going to be a Thought Scour there for Dylan. Now Mountain pass the turn back. How explosive will Dilks' draw be? Selesnya Sanctuary, trigger, float some mana. Coalition Relic. Dylan gonna bolt now. I wonder if Dilks actually has a Susan in hand and just didn't play it.
Yeah, you would have seen a Braid the previous turn if Donegan could cast it.
Uh-huh.
So open up with the artifacts, try to get at least a little bit of a value for your trouble.
Here comes Arclight Phoenix. Charge the Relic, draw a card, get some mana from the Relic. One of my favorite cards of all time is Coalition Relic.
It's a cool one.
Here's Ancient Stirrings off the Relic floating mana. Take a look at the top couple of cards. Simic Growth Chamber is the reveal. Growth Chamber goes to the hand from the very powerful Ancient Stirrings. Growth Chamber will enter the battlefield tapped, then it will untap because of the Amulet. Trigger on the Growth Chamber's bounce. Play Azusa. Gemstone Mine in hand. Now replay the Gemstone Mine with 3 mining counters. That's one of the additional land drops. but nothing much past that here for Dilks. Looks like there's a removal spell there for Souza. Arclight Phoenix comes in. Dilks falls down to 11. Donegan looks like he's got a spell in his hand he wants to play. It'll be a Braid on the Amulet. Donegan with 2 cards left in hand. Boros Garrison there from Dilks past the turn back. Donegan going to crack the Scalding Tarn and get a basic island. Dylan will draw, come in for 3. Dilks down to 8. Here's Crackling Drake. Could be presenting lethal next turn. Well, it's a good time to go to Primeval Titan. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Oh.
How about the Busy Bees?
Primeval Titan is like, I think Donegan's got this one locked up if that's the play.
It's the Hornet Queen.
That's really bad news for Donegan. That's so much time.
Thing in the Ice can help clear it away. Here's a Faithless Looting. Pass the turn back. 3 counters on Thing in the Ice.
Keep in mind it's currently constituted. That Thing in the Ice, even if you transform it and get in a shot, it only gets Dilks down to 1.
Yep.
And then there's a chance for him to fire back.
It's prime time, baby.
This was looking so good for Donegan.
There's a Crossroads.
Now it is not.
Crossroads and Growth Chamber. Trigger the Growth Chamber. We're going to have to pick up a land here in a minute, I'm sure. Yeah, this game is looking real tough now for Dylan. We'll head back over to Dilks. I think Dilks may have done some shortcutting there and just picked up land and replayed it very quickly. Here comes Titan again. Pachuca Bog, Teleria West. Crackling Drake going to trade with the Titan. Selesnya Sanctuary. Picks up Teleria West, then you transmute Teleria West for Engineered Explosives. Spell Pierce is going to try to slow that down a little bit. And it looks like Dilks was able to pay, going to blow up Thing in the Ice, and that's going to do it. Dilks came all the way back thanks to that Hornet Queen